This is TradeFlow News, bringing you relevant news and insights from around the world. TradeFlow News, enabling trade for SMEs and economies worldwide.
These are some of the key topics that we will be looking into in today's program.
First, let's take a look at the overnight headlines which are impacting the commodity markets.
OPEC is seeing signs of an oil supply surplus building from next month, so its members and allies will have to be very, very cautious when they review output policy at regular monthly meetings, the group's Secretary General said on Tuesday. The Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries and Allies, known as OPEC+, is gradually unwinding record production cuts made in 2020 by raising output 400,000 barrels per day per month. OPEC Plus holds its next policy meeting on December 2. The surplus is already beginning in December, OPEC Secretary General Mohammed Barkindo said on the sidelines of an energy conference, when asked if he was sure there would be an excess in oil supply next year.
The International Energy Agency, IEA, on Tuesday upped its average Brent crude oil price assumption for 2022 to $79.40 a barrel, but predicted a rally may ease off as prices that hit a three-year high last month push up global production. Brent is expected to average $71.50 a barrel this year, it added, in a rarely published take on oil prices. The average annual oil price last broke above $80 in 2014. The Paris-based IEA said on Tuesday that much of the uptick in supply is due to come from the United States.
Moving on to the top news in the energy sector.
Oil prices rose on Tuesday, supported by the prospect of tight inventories across the globe, although the gains were capped by forecasts of an increase in global production in coming months and concerns over rising coronavirus cases in Europe. Brent crude was 52 cents, or 0.6%, higher at $82.57 a barrel, by 11:10 GMT, and U.S. West Texas Intermediate, WTI, crude climbed 42 cents, or 0.5%, to $81.30 a barrel. The oil market will remain tight in the short term, which should lend support to prices, said Commerzbank analyst Carsten Fritsch. Trafigura's chief executive officer Jeremy Weir said the tightness in global oil markets was due to return of demand to pre-pandemic levels.
India's gasoil demand contracted by about a fifth during the first 15 days of November from the pre-COVID levels, after a festive season-led brief recovery last month, preliminary sales data of state-run refiners showed. India's gasoil consumption, which accounts for about two-fifths of the country's fuel demand, typically rises during a month-long festival season that ended earlier this month with the celebration of Diwali as diesel-guzzling trucks hit the road and industrial activity gathers pace. Gasoil consumption totaled 2.43 million tons between November 1 to 15, a decline of about 15.3% from last year and down 19.35% from the same period in 2019, the data showed. Next, we have the top news in metal markets. Chile's mining sector is looking for certainty amid political fog in the world's top copper producer, which is redrafting its constitution and on Sunday is headed for a polarized vote led by outsider candidates on the far left and right. The front-runners have kept their powder dry on copper in the campaign so far, hinting at hikes to royalties on mining profits. There has also been vague talk from far-right poll leader José Antonio Cast to allow more private investment in state miner Codelco. The November 21 presidential vote, the first since months of angry protests over inequality rocked Chile in 2019, has become a polarized battle between a leftist coalition led by 35-year-old protest leader Gabriel Boric and ultra-conservative Cast.
Gold prices climbed to their highest level in over 5 months on Tuesday as rising price pressures burnished the metal's appeal as an inflation hedge and countered a strong dollar. Spot gold rose 0.6% to $1,872.80 per ounce by 12:36 GMT, while U.S. gold futures climbed 0.5% to $1,875. The metal has added more than 2% since last Tuesday after data showed U.S. consumer prices posted the biggest annual gain in 31 years last month.
We will now look at the top news in the agricultural sector.
Germany's winter rapeseed planted area for the 2022 harvest is likely to be expanded to around 1.03 to 1.08 million hectares against about 991,000 hectares harvested in 2021, German Oilseeds Industry Association UFOP estimated on Tuesday. UFOP's survey is traditionally the first detailed indication of upcoming rapeseed sowings in Germany, which competes with France for the position as Europe's largest rapeseed producer. The increase in producer prices for rapeseed will have encouraged many farmers to expand their cultivated area, UFOP said.
That is all for today's news on commodity markets. Stay tuned to TradeFlow News as we continue to provide you with more updates. We also invite you to follow us on Twitter at TradeFlow News, which allows you to watch our program on your mobile device or desktop to receive information from there.